Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning, student. How are you this morning? I hope that you are always fine today. So it is a pleasure to be with you all today. So in this good occasion, this good opportunity, I'm going to share some insights about this course, and I hope it will be beneficial to all of you here. So the main objective of this course is to help the student understand the importance of human resource management materials in your study and how you can use human resource management materials in your life and in the company or office you work in the future. So human resource management materials can benefit you when you are a manager of human resource management department. I'm also going to bring you some insight about the importance of human resource management materials and problem-solving skills. Okay, I want you all to know that the contents we are going to cover in this course is not just a theoretical discussion or a simple talk about theories, but there is something practical that we can do together that will have immediate impact on how we teach you and how you behave as learners in university. Okay, let us start with introduction to this course. Okay, before that, I want to introduce myself. So I am Adi Mursalin, and then so I live on Jalan Wonoyoso 1 number HA, and my WhatsApp number is 0H115771968, and my Instagram is Adi Mursalin 1675, and you can follow my Instagram because by following my Instagram you can watch the videos of CHRM events, and then so my Facebook is Adi Mursalin, so you can add also friend to my Facebook. Yeah. Okay. First, in this course, I'm going to use the method of discussion in my teaching. If we put for thoughts related to topic in human resource management, I will post the question in Google Classroom, and the student must answer the question given. Yeah. One question can be answered by many students, and I will teach you chapter 9 to 15 in human management book. I expect that all of you here are active in answering the question given, and I will post the question for days before the lecture so that you can prepare yourself well in the discussion. I will video record you, and I will send the video recording of your answers in Instagram. So you had better follow my Instagram, yeah. So everything will be posted in Instagram, and you can learn what you have discussed and what you have studied in Instagram. In my teachings, I will use video recording, YouTube, and Instagram. In the first meeting, I will lead the discussion and then in the next meeting, the student lead the discussion. I will video record every discussion. My evaluation is based on your activities in the discussions. The more you active in the discussion, the better. You will get good result from your study, and you can achieve good performance in your study. When the discussion is over, the student must video record the contents of the discussion we have done. You must describe the contents of the discussion, the benefits of discussion, and what you have learned from each chapter. Your video recording must be uploaded into YouTube, and you must send the link of your YouTube in group, WhatsApp, and Google Classroom. And your video can last maybe 10 minutes to 15 minutes. Yeah, so you must have short video recordings. In this course, I will give you the structured assignments in the forms of drama. Yeah, so you will have drama, and related to the human resource management topic, you must form a group of 10 or 11 members. Your video of drama can take 20 until 30 minutes or more. Yeah, you must submit your video of drama 7 days before the final term test. In this course, I will give you final term test. So you must video record the answers of the test. The question given in the test are related to your activities in the discussion, the theory of human resource management materials, and the videos related to HRM materials taught. I hope that the student can be active in the classroom. I'm very sure of you that you can perform well in this course and you can get good grade at HRM. So in this course, I will use the book, that has been given by Pak Arman, Human Resource Management. So written by Robert L. Martis. Robert L. Martis is from University of Nebraska at Omaha, and then John Hay Jackson from University of Wyoming, Shane R. Valentin from University of North Dakota, and Patricia Armeglik from University of Nebraska at Omaha. So in this, after the midterm test here, I will explain chapter 9, talent, careers, and development. And then chapter 2, chapter 10, performance management and appraisal. So this, you can find this on page 362. And I also explain chapter 11, total reward and compensation, on page 400. Chapter 12, variable pay and executive compensation, on page 444. And then chapter 13, managing employees benefits, on page 482. Chapter 14, risk management and workers protection, on page 528. Chapter 15, employees' rights and responsibilities, on page 570, and chapter 16, union management relation, on page 610. So I have told you before that the method of my teaching, or learning here is discussion, So you must answer the question given. I will post the questions, for this before the lecture. And the assignment given is video recording and drama, It's your assignment, your structured assignments. Okay, and then the first, the chapter 9, So we talk about chapter 9 is talk about talent, careers, development, careers development. And then, so each chapter has the learning objective. So there are 6 learning objective of chapter 9. So the first is identify the importance of talent. So if you are able to understand, if you are able to identify the importance of talent, so you must read the material, talent management strategy, and then talent management in perspective, talent management in information system, scope of talent management, and high potential individuals. When you have read this material, it is hoped that you can identify the importance of talent. So identify the importance of talent is the learning objective 1 of this chapter. And then the second learning objective of this chapter is you are expected to explain the importance of succession planning and the step involved in the process. So this learning objective involves the materials you must study, you must read. The first is succession planning, succession planning process, and then succession planning decisions, benefits of succession planning, and then the third learning objective, in this course is differentiate between organization centered and individual centered careers planning. Okay, and then so you in this learning objective you can start. You must read the careers and and career planning, changing nature of careers. So there are two materials. You must read and learn by heart. So by reading careers and careers planning, and changing nature of careers, is expected that you can differentiate between organizational centered and individual centered career planning. And the third and the fourth learning objective in chapter 9 is it is hope that you can list option for development. Yeah. So yeah, and then so what is yeah, so in this material you must read how to deploy, how to analyze the development need. Yeah. Yeah. And then the and then in the learning of the five, so it is hope that you can discuss three career issues that organization and employees must address. So in this learning objective, you must study the material, you must read the materials, talent development approaches, and job site development approaches, and off-site development approaches. Yeah. And then in the learning objective six, it is hoped that you can identify several management development method. Yeah. And you must study and read in books. Yeah. The management and leader development and problem with management development report and supervisors development and leadership developments. Yeah. Okay, this is the chapter 9. Yeah. So chapter 9 we talk about talent, careers, and development. So you must know what is talent, what is careers, and what is development. And then the next chapter is performance management and appraisal. Yeah. Performance management and appraisal. So there are also six learning objective in this chapter 10. Yeah. So so you must know what is performance management and what is appraisal and what is the difference between performance management and appraisal. So in the first learning objective, so you must be able to identify why performance management is necessary, is very important. So to uh, to know this learning objective, so you must learn, you must study, or you must read in ebook, yes, the nature of performance management and global culture differences in performance management focus organizational culture, and identifying and measuring employee management. So, and then in the second learning objective, you must be able to distinguish among three types of performance information. So in this learning objective, we will study the type of performance information, performance standard, performance metrics in service business, performance appraisals, and performance appraisals and ethics. So in this course, I tell you that we use discussion method. So I will give you question related to this chapter, and you must answer the question given, and the student must lead the discussion later. Okay. And then the third learning objective in chapter 10 is that you must be able to explain the differences between administrative and developmental uses of performance appraisal. So in this learning objective 3, you will study the uses of performance appraisal, what is it used for, yeah, and the decision about the performance, how to decide the performance appraisal process, right? And the legal concerning performance appraisal, and who conduct appraisal, and the supervisor re-ratings of subordinate. So they are the material you must study in learning objective 3. And then in learning objective 4, so you must be able to describe the advantages and disadvantages of multi-source, yeah, 360-degree appraisal. So in this learning objective, you will study multi-source 360-degree rating, and who conducts appraisal, and tools for appraising performance, what tools are used to appraise the performance, the category scaling method, and grading scale, comparative methods, and goal setting and management by objective. So, okay, this is the fourth learning objective. And then the learning objective in chapter 10 here, so in this learning objective 5 years, so you must be able to discuss the importance of training managers and employees on performance appraisal and give example of retro errors. Yeah, so you will study in this learning objective 5 the training managers and employees in performance appraisal and retro errors. And in the learning objective 6, you must be able to identify several concerns about appraisal feedback and ways to make it more effective. So in this learning objective 6, you will study appraisal feedback, the appraisal interview, reaction of managers and employees, and then effective performance management. So in this chapter 10, it is hoped that you must be able to meet the learning objective. So how to meet the learning objective? So you must read and learn, yeah, and you must be able to apply the theories in this chapter in your life, yeah. So it will benefit you when you are the managers or when you work in office or in a company. Okay, and we jump to the chapter 10. Yeah, chapter 10 talk about total reward and compensation. So in this chapter, we learn total rewards and compensation. What is reward and what is compensation? Yeah, so reward and cost are very important. Yeah, for the people in the company. So reward and compensation can also can influence the performance. Yeah, the people performance in the company. So this chapter also has learning objective that you must meet in this course. Yeah, the first is in the learning object one. So you must be able to identify the three general components of total reward and give the example of each components. Yeah, so you in this case you must study the material nature of total reward and compensation, and then compensation of the component of compensation. And then in the learning objective 2, you must be able to explain the major laws governing employees' compensation. So we'll study laws governing compensation, Fair Labor Standard Act or FLSA, fair equity laws and independent contractor regulation, and additional laws affecting compensation. And then in the learning objective 3, you must be able to outline strategic compensation decision. So you will study in this learning objective 3 a strategic compensation decision, organizational climate and compensation philosophies, communicating pay philosophy, compensation responsibilities, and human resource metric and compensation system design issues, motivation theory, and compensation philosophies, compensation fairness and equity, market competitive compensation, competency-based pay, individual versus team reward. So to master this, so you must be diligent to read and learn, and you must be able to practice this theory in your life. So it is very it's very beneficial to you when you are the manager of HRD or human department, yeah, in the future. Yeah, so when you have business, you can apply this theory. So this theory is hope to be applicable in your life. Yeah, so when you have studied this material, I expected that you will be able to outline strategic compensation decision. And then in the learning objective 4, so you must be able to understand the challenges of managing global compensation system. So in this learning objective 4, so you only study global compensation issues and international assignees. Okay, and we okay. Okay, and we come to the learning objective 5. Yeah, in learning objective 5, so it is so that you must be able to illustrate the step in developing a base pay system, how to develop a base pay system. So to know how to develop a base system, so you must read the material, you must learn this material, developing the base pay system, job evaluation methods, and market pricing, pay surveys, pay structures, pay grades, pay range, and individual pay. So it is hope this material can benefit you. So when you work as a manager of HRM, so you can know how to develop the base pay system. Yeah, you have to know this. You must study the study material given in this course in the learning objective 5. And then we come to learning objective 6. So in learning objective 6, you must be able to describe how individual pay rates are set. So in this case, as a manager, you must be able to set the pay rates, yeah, individual pay rates. So in this learning objective 6, you will study determining pay increase and performance-based increases, standardized pay adjustment, and compensation challenge. And I hope that if you want to meet this learning objective, you must learn and read this topic. And this topic will also be important to you when you are the manager of HRM. So you must be able to set the pay rates, yeah, individual pay rates for your people, yeah. So the people will be happy. So if the pay rates are set very well, yeah. Okay, this is the chapter 11. So chapter 11 talk about total reward and compensation. So you must be so it is hope from this chapter you know how reward and compensation, how to give reward and how to give compensation for your people. So your people will be happy if you can give the fair reward and fair compensation, yeah, in the work. Yeah, so you must try to make your people happy. And then come to the chapter 12, yeah. Chapter 12 talk about variable pay and executive compensation. So the chapter also has the six learning objectives. So you must meet the six learning objectives by reading and learning, yeah. So in learning objective one, so you must be able to define variable pay, identify three aspects of effective pay for performance plan. So in this learning object ones, you will study variable pay, incentive and for performance, and effective variable pay, key performance indicators, and then global variable pay, and three level of variable pay. So by studying this material, I'm very sure you can define variable pay and identify three aspects of effective pay for performance plan. And this material will also be beneficial to you when you are the manager of human resource management, and you must be able to set the variable pay for your people's performance, yeah. So the variable pay must be effective, and then you must also know the key performance indicators, and you must know global variable pay. So when you work in the multinational company, okay. And then the next objective is learning of these two, yeah. So in this learning of these two, it is expected that you must be able to compare three types of individual incentive. So in this learning objective two, you will study individual incentive, piece rate system, bonuses, non-monetary incentive, and work in a team incentive. So yeah, so by studying this material, it is hoped that you can compare three types of individual incentive, and you must know it is the importance. So when you are the manager of human resource management in the future, okay. And then we come to the learning objective 3. So in learning objective 3, so you must be able to identify key concern that must be addressed when designing work unit team variable pay plan. In this case, you must be able to design. So when it's important, because as a manager, you must be able to design work unit team variable pay plan. So in this learning of 3, you will study design of unit team variable pay, and work unit team incentive challenges, and type of work unit for team incentive. So these three materials are very important to study, to learn. Maybe perhaps you work as a manager or from HRM, so you can know how to design unit team variable pay plan. And then in learning objective 4, so it is hoped that you must be able to specify why profit sharing and employee stock ownership are popular organizational incentive plans. So in this learning objective 4, we will study organizational incentive, profit sharing, employee stock plans, and measuring the effectiveness of variable pay plan, and sales compensation. So by studying this material, it is hoped that you must be able to meet the learning objective 4. Yeah, and they will also be important to you. So when you are serving as the manager of human resource management, and then learning objective 5. Yeah, so in this learning objective 5, it is hoped that you must be able to explain 3 ways in which sales employees are typically compensated. So we will study type of sales compensation plan, sales compensation measurement perspective, and measuring effectiveness of sales compensation. And in learning objective 6, it is hoped that you must be able to identify the typical elements of executive compensation and discuss criticism of executive compensation level. So in this learning of the SIG, you will study executive compensation, profit sharing, executive compensation controversy, reigning in executive compensation, element of executive compensation, global executive compensation, measuring the effectiveness of executive compensation. So in this chapter, so every chapter I will post question, and you must answer the question given, and the student must lead the discussion. So in this case, I don't want to talk more, and the student must talk more. Yeah. So you must lead the discussion, and after discussion, I will give the comment of the discussion, and you must video record the discussion. And then we come to the chapter 13. Chapter 13. Chapter 13 is about managing employees' benefits. So in this case, you as a manager, you must be able to manage employees' benefits. So also there are 6 learning objectives in this chapter. So the first learning objective is you must be able to define a benefit and identify, yeah, identify for strategic benefit consideration. So in this learning of one, you will study benefit and human is a strategy, and benefits as a competitive advantage, and tax prefer status or benefit. And in learning objective two, it is hoped that you must be able to analyze the differences between employee benefit in the United States and those in other countries, yeah, including Indonesia, how employee benefit applied in Indonesia. Yeah, and then you will study in this learning object tool is global benefit, executive compensation controversy, public sector benefits, benefit design, benefit administration technology and communication. So how to use technology to in benefit administration, yeah, and how to communicate the benefit administration to the people, right? And benefit measurement, how to measure benefit cost control, how to control benefit cost, yeah, and benefit communication, how to communicate the benefit to your people. So how to make your people happy, so you must be able to communicate the benefit given by your company to your people. Okay, and we come to and then next is the chapter 3, yeah, and chapter 13 still we talk about managing employees benefit. So the learning object 3, yeah, so in learning object 3 here, it is expected that you must be able to distinguish between mandated and voluntary benefit and list 3 example of it. So you must be able to give 3 example of each, yeah, of each benefit. Yeah, so you will study, yeah, in this learning objectives, types of benefits, yeah, legally required benefit, social security and Medicare, workers compensation, unemployment compensation, and additional legally required benefit. So in learning objective 4, it is hoped that you must be able to discuss the trend in retirement plan and compare defined benefit and defined contribution plan. Yeah, so the workers must be, yeah, some they must be retired, so they cannot work to get forever in the company. So the company set the rule on what age they retired, yeah, they are retired. So in this learning of the 4, so you will study this retirement benefit, retirement plan concept, retirement plan, ledger regulation of retirement benefit, employee retirement income security act, and retirement benefit and age discrimination. So in Indonesia, so when you are the civil servant, so when you have reached the age of 58, so the civil servant must retire. Yeah, it's the rule of the government. Yeah, and but yeah, okay. And then next, we are still talking chapter 13. So now we talk about the learning objectives of 5. So in the learning of the 5, you must be able to explain the importance of managing the cost of health benefit and identify some method of doing so. So in this learning of the 5, you will study healthcare benefits, yeah, increase in health benefit costs, healthcare reform legislation, employer-sponsored plan, controlling healthcare benefit costs, increasing employees' contribution, consumer-driven health plan, dental and vision coverage, wellness initiative, and other innovative health care program and healthcare legislation. So the company must pay attention to this, yeah. So when you are the manager of the HRM, you must also pay attention to this because they are very important, yeah, to the people, yeah. So this material can make the people happy, yeah, so that you must be able to manage the cost of health benefit, and you must be able to identify some method of how to manage the cost of health benefits. Okay, and we come to learning objective 3. So in this learning objective 3, so it's expected that the student must be able to describe the growth of financial family oriented and time of benefits and their important to employees. So you will study in this learning objective 3 here, financial benefit, insurance benefit, financial service, education service assistance, severance pay, family-oriented benefits, family and medical leave acts, family care benefits, paid time off benefit, vacation pay, holiday pay, list of absence, paid time off lands, and employee paid groups benefits. So they are very important, yeah. So how to make your people happy? So you must pay this to this. You must pay attention to this, and so by studying this material in the object 6, you must be able to meet the learning objective 6. Yeah, so read and learn and learn, and you must be able to apply what you have studied in the future or in your daily life and in your workplace. Yeah. Okay, we come to chapter 14. Yeah, chapter 14. Chapter 14 deals with the risk management and worker protection. So the worker needs protections. Yeah, yeah, for safety. So when the worker is the worker is safe, yeah, and the company protects workers. Yeah, so that the people in the company, the workers in the company can be happy and they can work well and they can perform well. So this chapter also has 6 objective learning objective. Yeah, so the first learning objective 1. So in learning objective 1, the student is hope that they are able to understand risk management and identify its component. In this learning objective 1, the student will study risk management, component of risk management, health, safety, and security. So health, safety, and security are very important to the people. So the company must pay attention to this, because by having good health, by having good safety and security, the people will be happy and they can work well in the company and they can perform well, and they will be able to contribute as performance to the company in order to reach the goals. Yeah. And then we come to learning objective 2. So in learning objective 2, the student is hoped to be able to discuss important areas regarding safety and health. So safety and health must be regulated. Yeah. So must be legalized. Yeah. So in this learning objective 2, so the student studies safety and health regulation, workers' compensation, American with Disabilities Act and safety issues, child labor laws, legal issues related to work rights assignment, and global safety, health, and security issues. Okay, we come to the, still we talk about chapter 14. Yeah, so we come to learning objective 3. In this learning objective 3, it is hoped that the student must be able to outline the basic provision of the Occupational Safety and Health Act of 1970 and record keeping and inspection requirement. And so what do you study in this learning obviously? So you will study Occupational Safety and Health Acts, OSHA enforcement action and resource safety, workplace safety standard, OSHA record keeping requirements, and OSHA inspection. Okay, we come to learning objective 4. So in this learning objective 4, you must be able to recognize the activities that constitute effective safety management. So in this learning objective 4, you study safety management, organizational commitment to safety, safety policies, discipline and record keeping, safety training and communication, effective safety committees, inspection, investigation, and evaluation, accident reduction using ergonomic approach for effective safety management and measuring safety efforts. Yeah, so this material are very important to human resource management. Yeah, to you in your life and when in office or company you work. Yeah, later. Yes. So I have and hope that you must be diligent to read this material and you can apply this theory in your life later. Okay, we come to the learning objective 5. Yeah, in chapter 14. Yeah. So in learning objective 5, so the student is hoped to be able to list 3 workplace health issues and highlight how employers are responding to them. So in this learning objective 5, you will study employee health and wellness, substance abuse, workplace safety standard, OSHA root coping requirement, and OSHA inspection. Okay. Okay. And then in learning of this SIG, is hope that you must be able to define workplace security concern and discuss some element of an effective security program. In this learning of the SIG, you will study also workplace security concern, security management, employee screening and selection, security personnel, and workplace violence. Okay, we come to, and then the last is so this chapter has 7, yeah, 7 learning objectives. So the last learning objective in this chapter is that the student must be able to describe the nature and importance of disaster preparation and recovery planning for human resource. So you will study in this learning of the 7 is disaster preparation and recovery planning and disaster planning. Okay, we come to chapter 15, the last chapter. Okay, chapter 15 talk about employees' right and responsibility. So the employees' right and responsibility. Yeah, so you must know what right that must be got by employees and what responsibility must be conducted by the employees. So this chapter maybe may have six learning objectives. So in the first learning objective, it is hoped that the student must be able to explain element of employment contract, including non-competes and intellectual property agreements. So in this learning objective one, so you will study employer and employee rights and responsibility, contextual right, and implied contracts. And in learning objective two, it is hoped that the student must be able to define employment at will and discuss how wrongful discharge, just cause, and due process are interrelated. So in this learning objective two, you will study rights affecting the employee relationship, employments at will, just cause, due process, organizational justice, alternative dispute resolution, managing individual employee and employer rights issues. Okay, and the next objective is learning objective three. So in this learning objective three, it is expected that the student must be able to discuss issues associated with employee privacy, free speech, and whistleblowing. Yeah. So in this learning objective three, you will study privacy right and employees record, employees free speech right, technology and employee issues, employee right and personal behavior issues, and balancing employer security and employees' rights. Okay, we come to the learning of the four. So in learning of the four, you must be able to analyze workplace monitoring, employer investigation, and offer steps taken to ensure a safe and productive workplace. So in this learning of the four, you will study workplace monitoring, employer investigation, human resource policies, procedures and rules, employees handbook, and communicating human resource information. And then we are still talking after 15 employees right and responsibility. So learning of the five. So I think it is the last learning of the last learning objective. So chapter 15 has 5 learning objectives. So in this learning of the five, so you must be able to outline approaches to employee discipline and termination of employment. So you will study employee discipline, effective discipline, approaches to discipline, challenge in employee discipline, termination, the final disciplinary step. Okay, I think this is the end of this chapter 15. So in this course after the after the midterm test, yeah, so I will teach you from chapter 9 to chapter 15. So I hope that you must be diligent to study, because I use the method of discussion. I hope that you must be active in the discussion. Yeah, so in this course, yeah, I will use the media like Instagram, and then WhatsApp, Google Classroom, and YouTube. So when the discussion is over, so you must video record the content of discussion, the benefit of discussion, and what you have learned from the discussion. And you must also conclude what have been discussed in this chapter. So I hope each chapter will benefit you, so you can apply the theories in the chapters in your life and in your work in the future. Yeah. So I hope you are diligent, and I'm very sure of you that you can do this well. And I and yeah, we meet in we meet in the class later. In the class, we will discuss together, and you must study, you must read the question given. So you must prepare yourself well, so you can answer the question well, and you will perform well, and you will get good grades. Okay, so then I think they solved this morning. I hope you are you're still spirited in study and perform well, and we meet in the class later. Okay, see you later next time. Before that, you must subscribe to my channel here. It's my channel, and then thank you very much for your attention, and see you later in the class. That's all. Okay, goodbye everybody. See you later in the classroom.